I'd imagine most of you are pretty inflexible, and if you're watching this, you probably work out. I hope you're hitting legs, and if you are, get flexible while you hit them. Now, when it comes to upper body flexibility, it's similar to resistance training in that it isn't nearly as taxing as stretching our lower bodies. I just do a couple stretches throughout the week to maintain my flexibility, and even then, I don't think it's as crucial as lower body flexibility. Like, when are we ever going to be in a position where we need to back bridge? Now, I don't enjoy hitting legs, and I don't enjoy lower body mobility sessions, so I did combine both of those into one long workout. Doesn't make sense, but I've been sticking with it. So now, if you don't care about flexibility at all, don't leave just yet because there's still some value you can get from this video. And I'll tell you what it is right now. It's weighted stretching. A lot of you are probably familiar with Jefferson curls, and this is an exercise I do. It feels resistance trainy enough to where I include it on my leg days, but it is a stretch at the end of the day, so yeah. And 2 sets are all I do. As for how to do it, just keep your legs straight and together, and then curve your spine. It's basically like a deadlift if you did the opposite of all the form cues. Like, genuinely, since it's a stretch, you breathe out during the concentric, and a lifting belt would make you worse at this exercise. There's also straddle Jefferson curls. I do these with a barbell because when we split, we're closer to the ground, and with a dumbbell in our hands, it would hit the ground as we do the curl, so I put the barbell at my elbows. I split as wide as I comfortably can with the barbell in my elbows and keep an anterior pelvic tilt when you do these. I feel these mainly in my inner thighs, and chat said that's good. So yeah, the rest of the form cues are the same as the standard Jefferson curl, other than things we have to do in order to straddle. Now let's get into the main stuff, middle splits. I know you only care to do this so you can do wider straddles for your progression-based skills like planche, straddle front levers and stuff. So here's how you can make them less unbearable to achieve. Adductors. Now, in case you couldn't tell, I don't know much about flexibility. I just know there's a correlation between adductors and middle split length. So I started using the adductor machine on my leg day. Of course, do the usual stuff like progressively overload, but my initial focus was getting to the max spread on the machine, so I did my sets as wide as I could, and then every now and then, when I felt like I got stretchier, I would just go one setting wider and see if I could sit in the machine. If I could, I'd reduce the weight by like 1 or 2 stacks, depending on how many reps I did with my previous weight, and then I would repeat this until I got to the max spread of the machine. Again, like, I don't know much about flexibility, so I don't know what else to say. Another exercise for the adductors is Cossack squats. In the bottom position, one of your legs is in a middle split, which is our end goal. Low-key, these are worse than split squats in my opinion. Like, I really dislike them. I don't know why. Like, I prefer doing Bulgarian split squats over Cossack squats, but since Bulgarians don't really help as much with mobility, I have to do these. Now, unlike the Jefferson curl, our non-splitting leg is objectively doing a squat. Of course, you're not squatting the same weight as you would with like a barbell, hack, or Smith machine squat, but you're still squatting a greater percentage of your body weight on one leg, and then you're also doing these weighted. So I can't really think of why you wouldn't include Cossack squats on your leg day. Again, they suck. I hate them more than Bulgarians, but they're a one leg squat and they also make you flexible. And again, I only do 2 sets of these. The last exercise is called the fire hydrant. It also has another name. I do this after Jefferson curls, which is my first exercise. I feel like it's a great way to warm up for the heavier middle split stuff, and do these against a wall so you don't start leaning too far back onto your kneeling leg. So like just 2 sets of all of these stretches that I mentioned is what I do. Some of them I do on my leg day, like the Cossack squats, and then I do have a dedicated mobility day for the 2 Jefferson curls that I do. And of course, specificity does matter, so I also have 2 sets of middle split holds at the end of that mobility day. but like that workout goes by really quickly. It's like 20 minutes, and then I just do cardio after that, maybe some core work. But for a mobility day, I'd say like Jefferson curls, fire hydrants, straddle Jefferson curls, then middle splits. And on your leg day, you could do Cossack squats and the adductor machine. And then here's like just a couple things you can do. Now, honestly, this video is mainly for those of you who want to planche, front lever, 90-degree push-up, and one-arm handstand. I think the straddle progression is most useful for these skills, and not so much the other ones like back lever or just a handstand push-up or standard handstand hold. Even if you don't plan to train any of these skills anytime soon, it's easier to maintain flexibility that you built than to gain it. So just get that flexibility aspect done now, and then you can just do some BS to maintain while you have your 120-degree straddle to make your statics easier.